First gotten from Karnak for 750 gil, the elemental rods boost the holder's corresponding elemental damage by 50% and really suck as bludgeoning tools. More famously, if you use them from the item menu when held, it casts an incredibly overpowered for the time you get it Aga spell. Well, really, the first one you get is in Carwin, which can be used to skip Magissa or Garula, but Karnak is when they're first repeatably buyable. They work just like a normal spell cast. Does half damage when casted on a group, which it's forced to do unless there's only one target, and full damage otherwise. Still affected by your magic, still affected by your level, can even be itself rod boosted if you're dual wielding, but I can imagine by the time you get to that point you're probably over the gimmick. Rod breaking is so busted for so long. Like, seriously debilitating for a game balance level, but it does have a falling off point. Eventually, 8 out of the 17 World 1 bosses are weak to one of the 3, and the ones that aren't named Archaeoavis get heavily chunked to where a full party just spamming them will kill anything in 1 to 3 rounds. Things are better in World 2, but the middle third of the game generally has a weak boss lineup until the end, so I don't think that counts for much. World 3, you have full access to unlimited Aga spells, along with the Magus Rod, so I think most people will have completely ditched the Rod Break train by this point. But you can still buy them in Karnak again if you like. It also bothers me that you can farm for gil super easily outside Karnak on the Wild Max that give you somewhere in between 5 and 600. You just farm out there for a few minutes with Rod boosted Fyras or Fires, and you're gonna be swimming in gil for as many rods as you want. Either way, the point stands. These rods are game-changing. The Magic Trinity aren't the only spells that get the boon of MP-less nukes. You can get Poison Rods from Kelv that break for Bio, and Staves of Light as a rare drop from Metamorph that break for Holy. Interesting as these are, they're dramatically less practical for a number of reasons. For the former, they're twice as expensive, Bio isn't as strong, and very few things are weak to poison. Not to mention Bio, I'm pretty sure, is the only poison spell you can get, so even if you're using the rod for the elemental boost, it's not doing a whole lot for you. If you're struggling on World 2 X-Death and didn't stock up in World 1, the poison rods will do nothing because the guy is inexplicably immune to poison, so definitely keep that in mind for any red mage run. For the latter, I mean, it's a rare drop, so while Holy is incredible, you're almost certainly not going to have more than one without incredible luck. Metamorph is one of the most annoying enemies to farm for, too. Obnoxiously high HP pool, and you have to beat him in his default old man form to even have a chance of getting it. Also, less importantly, the Staff of Light doesn't boost Holy, so even if you were crazy enough to grind for your dual-wielding white mage, you're not getting anything out of it. Bafflingly enough, Pixel Remaster actually buffed rod breaking. You still need to be able to equip rods to do it, but just like any other use as an item weapon, it's usable straight from the menu, no equipping necessary. This means you don't need any ninja investment to get that sweet 50% boost, and not only that, but the damage isn't affected by there being one or more enemies anymore. It's totally consistent across all enemy parties before taking any resistances into account. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending, Mimic does not work. The user just tries to use their weapon from their inventory to usually no effect, although it'll do something if they have, for example, the Masamune. I'm also going to sidestep the actual video topic for a sec for an addendum to the Wonder Rod video. Rapid Fire does nothing, similar to the Apollo's Harp. If you hack in multiple Wonder Rods, they all go off the same spell cycle, not having their own individual ones, and mimicking the rod will have the mime just attack with their equipped weapon. Like the Elemental Rods, they're mimicking the menu option, not the effect. I'll say though, speaking purely by the rod's standard function, I'm a sucker for element boosting tools in any game. I was shocked that 12 had them too. Any game that avoids having all equipment just be stat sticks is okay by me, and 5 is pretty good about that in World 3. Up to that point, not so much, but they stuck the landing well enough.